Yo, what up? It's your boy, 410 Josh, back in the building. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We tapped in for Hot Topic Monday. So, glad to see y'all. Glad y'all had a good weekend. So now we about to jump into some really hot topics. But, as always, before we jump into those topics, I need everybody, if they haven't done so, I need you to go to my YouTube page, 410 Josh, hit that subscribe button. Then, once you hit that subscribe button, I need you to like, share, and comment on the videos and what y'all have already seen. You know, I love to get the feedback. And then, once you do that, we can chop it up, we can interact, and, do what we normally do. So we got a lot of ground to cover today. It's been a lot that's happened over this weekend. First thing we're going to get into is we're going to get into the little controversy that's going on with Christian rapper Dee-1. He called out Rick Ross, Meek Mill, and Jim Jones over, I guess, the content of their music and the type of hip hop that they make. And I guess he felt the way like they should be able to evolve and do more things with their music and not just talk about what they talk about. So we saw Ross, responded and said, hey, you need to worry about your braids and, do stuff for the community because that's what he's doing. And then, we saw Jim Jones' response. He basically was saying, you need to watch your mouth when you speak on me because I get a lot of money off the music I make. And, I got people that might want to touch you behind that. I haven't seen a Meek Mill response. I don't even think Meek is giving it any attention. So this is my feeling on that, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion on how, they critique music. Because at the end of the day, everybody that makes money off of music, you're making it off of somebody that supports your music, that brought it. Whether they brought it by downloads, physical copies, your merchandise, your shows, whatever. Somebody spent their time and money to purchase what you made, So anybody has the right to just go ahead and speak on how they want to speak on as it, regards your content. So I don't really agree with the idea of trying to tear down somebody because they don't like, what you said or they disagree with what you do. I mean, that's their opinion, And as far as, Jim Jones, that's one of the reasons, honestly, why it's always been hard for me to get into his music particular, because he's one of them people that every time you have something to say about his music, you giving him an opinion about how you feel about the content he puts out, he wants to fight. I mean, think about it, right? If every artist, every movie star, you didn't like the movie that they played in, wanted to fight you, you probably would never go see a movie again. And I don't understand why that's always his MO. I'll be honest with you, that's one reason why I never I never really get into what, Jim Jones does with music, because his whole thing is still this almost like 90s, early 2000s street mentality of, if you don't like what I like, then I'm going to do something to you. So I don't really respect that. But at the end of the day, it's his opinion. So what are you going to do about it? I mean, it's his opinion. Next thing I want to get into with y'all is Nas. Nas, so there's an apparent video of him where he auditioned for Rico and Paid in Full. So everybody knows that cult classic movie because it's like top 3, one of the best hip hop movies for most people. So, they said the audition wasn't really that well, but most people don't really look at Nas as an actor, even though we've seen him in roles. It's just never been something that people really gravitated towards him as an actor. We always love and, cheer for Nas as the superior lyricist. So him being, in Paid in Full, honestly, I don't think it would have really worked. I really don't think it would have really worked. So, but hey, anything's worth a try, right? Next thing we're going to get into is Exhibit. So Exhibit did an interview and he had said that he was sick and tired of hip hop and that he didn't feel like hip hop doesn't have its staying power. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. This kind of bothers me because not only are we celebrating 50 years of hip hop, which most people said we never would, but it's like, Exhibit, like you are one of the OGs. You one of the, West Coast legends that people, really look to. And I'm like, why is it that we just always got to have everything old school? Like he was saying about how, back in the day when you used to buy a CD or a cassette and you would crack it open and read the credits and all that. Yeah, you do that. And to some degree, like if you purchase vinyl and you buy now, you still do that. But, this is 2023. We're not doing that no more. I mean, maybe somebody like me might go buy a CD, every once in a while, depending on who and what artist it is. But we not in those times no more. And as far as hip hop staying power, hip hop honestly is here to stay because number one, it makes way too much money. Not way too much, but it makes enough money to where, hey, this is a business people want to get into. Number two, we don't need to keep always bringing it back. I love the old school. I was born in 82, so I come up on that early 90s hip hop. So my thing is, yeah, there's times I want to hear Black Moon. There's times I want to hear old Snoop. There's times I want to hear, old Outkast albums. But we got to open the doors and lay a new foundation, for the way things are going now. Now, do I agree that there's a lot of repurposing in our music, calling, singing, rapping, singing? Yeah, I do agree with that. But there's a lot of great artists out there who aren't doing that people need to support. And I think that's what needs to be shed more light on instead of just saying, we're tired of hip hop and we're tired of this and tired of that, because if we don't love our culture, who else is? So, I respectfully disagree with Exhibit on that one. The next one I want to get into kind of piggybacks off of Exhibit. And this one, unfortunately, came from Lil Yachty, where he said that hip hop is in a terrible place and it's a lot of low quality, uninspired music being made. Oh boy. I ain't gonna lie. I've been waiting to tackle something like this because of all people, and this might get me banned, they might flag me, but I'm going to just say this. Of all people, Lil Yachty should not at all ever be talking about the quality and state of hip hop, because he is one of the top people who was responsible for this conversation even being had about how bad hip hop got. I remember Lil Yachty was on Everyday Struggle and talked about how he said he doesn't even believe he does the best music, he does the best businesses. And my question for, academics and Joe Budden at the time, just from a fan's point of view, is like, Why nobody asked him, why the fuck are you doing hip hop? You don't feel like you're doing the best business or the best music. If you want to do the best business, go fine. That's fine. Go outside, but you can't be a part of the problem and asking why there's a problem. Like Lil Yachty, you've never been anybody that anybody looked at and said, hey, yo, that's who I want to be like in music. Yes, you a young black kid, young black man that come from the hood, that didn't have nothing, and you made a way out of something, and that's all fine. But the quality of your music has been horrible. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, you should never be talking about the state of hip hop because you are responsible for why you are partly responsible for why it's as bad as it got. Because artists like you that don't respect, and I remember when you said you don't respect the OGs and they're old, and if you want to make a song that go blah, 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 and they get the people dancing lit, and you should be able to do that. That's your right. But you don't get to but you making statements like this, I got a real big problem, because you're part of the problem in asking or critiquing why there is a problem. So I didn't respect that at all. Next person that I want to get into, the late and great legendary Soulja Slim. His sister was trying to get a museum built in New Orleans, and unfortunately the city of New Orleans did not want to do it, and they basically told him, we're not going to do a museum honoring the legacy of Soulja Slim, which is really surprising because Soulja Slim, for a lot of Southern artists and Southern fans, is a top tier best rapper. Master P, who signed him back in the 90s, said that he was the Tupac of New Orleans, for how real he spoke and how, in depth, his lyrics made you feel. So that's a really surprising thing to hear, that, the very city that he helped put on the map does not want to honor his legacy. I don't know, maybe he got some things in his background that they don't want to discuss or they don't want put out there, but hey, I mean, I guess, they just don't want to do it. But I would love to see, Soulja Slim, get his flowers, because he's definitely somebody that needs, to be respected, and he should be a pioneer. I mean, he is a pioneer, but he should be somebody that is honored, especially in a year like this with, still Southern hip hop at the forefront. Next, we will get into a little controversy. Benzino calls out Busta Rhymes for doing a video with his daughter, Coi Leray, and I guess, she was half naked in the video, and Benzino felt like Busta Rhymes is a grown man and that he should be, he should have called, he should have called him and told him about the video. My thing was this. I guess I understand as a father, because I'm a father and I have a daughter as well. I understand you might not like the idea of your daughter half naked next to another man, but she's 26, bro. She is a grown woman in the music business, just like you are, just like Busta is. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Everybody's daughter is doing this somehow, some way. Whether you're, Coi Leray, whether you're Rihanna, whether you're Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red. I mean, this is part of the business, We're not going to read more into the story because that's not what Benzino's argument is. But I don't feel as though Busta Rhymes owes you a call because his adult daughter did or got paid to do a video with Busta Rhymes. So next thing we want to get into is the YSL Rico case. So over the weekend, it was reported that the judge is now allowing Young Thug's lyrics to be used against him in the Rico case. If anybody doesn't remember, Thug caught a Rico case last year, which is a state Rico. Him and YSL members are charged with, numerous counts of racketeering, drug trafficking, weapons. They've been tied to several different murders, shootings. There's a bunch of crazy things going on. But I think that's so unfortunate, because what people don't realize is that your lyrics can be used against you in court if they detail actual crimes. So unfortunately, we have to now take the stance of, maybe Thug might have rapped some things in his lyrics that actually he detailed and actually did happen, and he might be a part of it allegedly, or he has knowledge of these crimes taking place. And that's the thing about a RICO. For those that don't know, a RICO is like a grand conspiracy. You don't need solid evidence. All you have to do is proof that you had conversations and knowledge and information of a crime taking place, and that's enough to get you indicted. So the fact that Thug's lyrics is going to be used against him in this indictment, it's really a bad sign for him. But again, prayers to Thug that, he find a silver lining. His attorneys can work out something to where, he might, can beat this case. But as of right now, it's really looking bad for him. We also got, A$AP Rocky is facing some legal situations. One of his artists or producers, A$AP Relly, is now testifying against him, saying that not only A$AP Rocky shot at him, but he put a gun to his stomach and said that he threatened to kill him. If people don't know, A$AP Rocky caught 2 counts of felony assault with a firearm, saying that he shot somebody in the hand, and also an innocent bystander got hit. Again, it's sad, man, because A$AP Rocky is in a real good space in his life with children with Miana, doing a lot of business things. So I hope that he can find some way to create reasonable doubt, because if you already convicted felon and now you've got 2 felony counts of assault with a firearm, they're going to try to nail you. They're going to really try to stick it to you, because their whole thing is you still haven't learned from the first time. So, again, prayers to A$AP Rocky, man. He can, find a way out. We got Snoop Dogg and his son Cordell Brodus. They are now launching their own independent video game studio, Death Row Games. This is a way for minorities and creators and artists to now create their own video games through this platform. I think that's a really, really big deal to have a father and son, a black father and son, create a video game development company for black artists and creators to be able to, show off their talents in the world of animation. Because, we got Xbox, PlayStation, and, Nintendo Switch, whatever you like that's out there. But now to have a black-owned video game development, and you're doing it with your son, I think that's a very big deal, and that's something that should be celebrated. Now, we also got Drake and J.Cole. So Drake is extending his tour, It's All a Blur, and him and J.Cole are going out on the road together. Apparently the tour already has done over 100 million on Drake's end, and now with adding J. Cole, this probably going to do another 100, maybe another 150. So this is a great thing. I like Drake and I like J. Cole. I know you probably see little tweets out there and little comments. I might joke with my friends about Drake, but I like Drake as an artist. And I definitely like what J. Cole is doing. I mean, everybody know Drake put out his album For All the Dogs, and then Cole came, he did his verse on First Person Shooter, and, Cole's been heavily doing the features and making his run. So, this should be a big, big deal for both of them and, the fans, because they both can pack out arenas. So to have them in an arena at the same time, it's going to be pandemonium. And the last story we're going to get into, Jeezy. Jeezy did probably, I don't want to say probably, he actually did the best interview of his career with Nia Long, where he sat down and they both had a very vulnerable adult conversation about, the state of men and women in their lives as far as their mental and emotional health and how they can evolve and grow. I really enjoyed this interview. There's a lot of things that hit home with me because there's a lot of things that Jeezy dealt with in his personal life from childhood to manhood that I personally dealt with. So this really hit home with me. And then to hear Nia Long's side of the story, given the female's perspective, and you'd be surprised just listening to a story like that, how much females and males have in common. But that, with the internet, there's so much more focus on male bashing and women bashing and saying what each other don't do and what each other needs to do with each other, for each other. Whereas though, if you really sit down and have an open, honest conversation and have dialogue, you see that y'all really go through a lot of the same things. It's just one has to be willing to listen to the other and, take in what's being said and not, just, react to what's being said. It's a difference between listening and hearing. And I think more times we spend time hearing and not listening. So that's definitely something you should check out. So yeah, man, that's, sorry. We got one more thing. This one's kind of funny. So everybody knows about the openly gay rapper, Saucy Santana. He's been going at it with DJ Academics, and he said something very, very eye popping and alarming, so to speak. He basically told Academics when he see him in the streets, he was going to beat him up and clap his cheeks, which prompted Academics to go live, and he damn near cried about it. This is my whole thing. I like Ack, for what he does. I think he has a niche in where his core fan base. But I think Ack sometimes needs to leave people alone. There's certain people that you just don't need to go after, regardless of whether you dislike their music, you like them as an artist, you don't even like them as a person. You're not going to win that. You're not going to win that fight. And he knows that. You're not going to, because if you physically try to harm this man, you potentially risk a hate crime. Because, we're in the time where, the LGBTQ community is highly, highly protected, to where if you do something to them, there's likely the consequences are going to be a lot harsher. You just need to leave it alone. Hey, it's like, all right, bro, just go ahead. As long as he don't physically do nothing to you or your loved ones, let him say what he want on the internet. It is what it is. I personally would have just ignored it if I was Ack. I wouldn't even give it the time of day. So I'm going to chat. I'm going to jump in here. And I see you got a lot of interaction going on. So we got to look, see what's going on. As always, the lovely Lynette Stevens is in the building. Thank you for your support. Key Watts, thank you, sweetheart, for coming through. Appreciate your support. My man Pterodactyl, thank you for coming in. Appreciate your support. Let's see who else we got on here. All right, my man Dre Robinson. I'm doing good. What's happening, brother? Yeah, I did check out that T-Pain song I sent you. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Let's see. Lynette, okay. Okay, yeah. Felicia Lely, thanks for coming in. Yeah, my man OG Donnie Miller. What up, OG? Let's see who else. We got Lada. Got a lot of feedback tonight. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, OG. He definitely, Yachty is definitely part of the problem. So you can't be a part of the problem and then talk about why there is a problem. I ain't feeling that. Little Yachty. Yeah, but Lynette, Yachty? That's exactly what I thought. Him? Yeah, Dre, Yachty is definitely super trash, in my opinion. In my opinion, Yachty is top 3, one of the worst rappers of all time. Like, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right, so Lynette, you said Nas wasn't all that well in Belly. Yeah, he wasn't that great in Belly because he's not really an actor, and I think it was more of just trying to earn a check, which I can respect, but I don't think acting is his thing. Yeah. Yeah, OG, okay, Jeezy, grown now. Yep, he definitely, yeah, the big homie Eat Up Rough in the building. Thanks again for your support. Come through. Let's see. All right, my man Quan Newwalk in the building. Yeah, that's not on Buster. You're absolutely right. It is not on Buster. They are grown men and grown women in the music business and entertainment, and I'm sure she got paid to do what she did. So I definitely agree, home. Okay, let's see what else we got on here. Got a lot of people come through. I like this one now. Okay. Let's see. Fam. Yeah, Lynette. Yeah, that interview was everything. It was the best interview Jeezy has ever done, and it's very eye-opening to how men and women have so much more in common than they realize. But again, with the internet, social media and entertainment, you would never know that because it only wants to show us bickering and tearing each other down, saying if you're not buying this and you're not doing this and if you don't have this and you don't have that. It's like that we have so much more in common and so much more we can understand from each other if we just stop, letting the outsiders, pick us apart. Yeah. Quan, they trying to roof Thug. Definitely. I agree again, homie. They definitely trying to roof Thug. They trying to make an example out of him, and they're trying to slay him in front of the world to say anybody that's attached to him or like him, this exactly will happen to you. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Okay. Yeah. You say he ain't say nothing about Saucy Santana. Well, I mean, unfortunately, Saucy, felt some type of way. Apparently it was something tied to his sister or his brother, and Act apparently put his 2 cents in, and he didn't appreciate it. But again, I like Act for what he does, but I just think that in a case with somebody like Saucy Santana, you're not gonna win that fight. It don't matter what you say. It's just best to just not even speak on somebody like him. Okay. All right, so everybody's tapped in. Everybody came through. I appreciate y'all for coming in on Hot Topic Monday. So, I'll be back Thursday for the Throwback Thursday. Y'all going to get the classic female hip-hop album. Y'all going to get the classic male hip-hop album. We're going to discuss the cultural impact and its personal impact on me and discuss about where those artists are today. So, as always, thanks for coming through. 410 Josh, hiphop_4123. If you haven't done so, go to the page, subscribe, like, share, comment. I will see y'all on Thursday. 1.